In the misty shadows of rural Japan, where cherry blossoms hide unspeakable horrors, a new nightmare awakens. Welcome to my channel, horror fans! Today we're stepping into the twisted world of Silent Hill, the long-awaited revival of Konami's iconic survival horror series. Penned by the mastermind behind Higurashi When They Cry, Ryuki Shi07, this game transports us to the 1960s, where a mysterious plague of parasitic flowers consumes everything in its path. With grotesque monsters lurking in the fog and psychological terror that will haunt your dreams, Silent Hill promises to redefine fear. Stick around as we break down the story and what this means for the franchise. Hinako hates her parents due to her dad being an abusive drunk and her mom being a total doormat. Her dad gambled away all of their money at some point, and to try and fix the issue, set up both Hinako and Junko with arranged marriages to the highest bidder. Hinako has always been a bit of a nonconformist and is terrified of being married off without her consent. She's known all of her friends since childhood. Shu is her best friend who has always treated her like one of the guys, but he fell in love with her in either middle or high school. Sukako is an insecure girl who had Hinako promise her that they would always be together and began to call Hinako a traitor after learning about her arranged marriage. Rinko isn't that close to Hinako and is mostly Shu's friend who has a crush on him and hates Hinako for being close to him. Kotoyuki/Fox Mask is Hinako's fiancé and first met her when they were both kids. He's had a crush on her since then. He's also the illegitimate child of a wealthy family who became the heir after everyone else with a higher position than him died. Hinako wants to be able to make choices for herself and is terrified of having her life be decided for her, with her being especially scared of turning out like her mom. Most of the enemies are themed around objectification, showing Hinako's terror at the thought of becoming nothing but a doll or puppet. Complicating this is that Hinako seems to actually like Kotoyuki and is split between being with him and fear over losing control over her life. This is represented in story by her being literally split into two different parts, with her normal self representing her desire to make her own choices, and the fox/bride version of her representing her affections for Kotoyuki. None of the characters are shown to particularly care about what Hinako wants for herself, with the somewhat exception of Shu, Kotoyuki, and/or maybe Junko depending on the ending. Everyone's trying to influence her to do what they want with little to no regard to how she feels. Now, let's talk about the endings. Set in the haunting 1960s Japanese village of Ebisugaoka, we follow Hinako Shimizu, a young woman torn between her ambitions, her family's expectations, and the supernatural forces that blur the line between reality and her fractured psyche. But, like every great Silent Hill game, the true terror, and the real payoff, lies in the endings. Today, we're breaking down all 5 endings. Yes, you heard that right. 5 paths that redefine Hinako's journey into womanhood, societal pressures, and the cost of conformity. Spoilers ahead, obviously, so if you haven't finished your first playthrough, pause now and come back. We'll cover what each ending means and how it ties into the themes. First up, Ending 1, Coming Home to the Roost. This is the default conclusion you'll get on your initial run. No choices, no branches, just the story as it's first presented. Hinako returns from her trip, seemingly unscathed, but the village's shadows linger. She reunites with her family, accepting a path laid out for her. Marriage to the enigmatic Fox Mask, a figure symbolizing the traditional role she's pressured into. It's a quiet, oppressive fade to black, leaving you with that classic Silent Hill unease. Did she escape the nightmare? Or is she just deeper in it? Ending 2, The Fox's Wedding. Often called the bad ending, this one's a tragic surrender. Hinako fully embraces her divine fate as Fox Mask's bride, in a ceremony that's equal parts beautiful and horrifying. The village blooms with illusory cherry blossoms, but it's all a delusion. Her ambitious self is buried, and she steps into a life of quiet submission. This path highlights the horror of lost agency. Hinako's outgoing spirit, the one that dreamed of love on her own terms, withers under parental and cultural weight. Ending 3, Ebisugaoka in Silence. This is the one critics are calling the true or good ending, the narrative pinnacle that grants Hinako real autonomy. After confronting the dual sides of herself, the bold Hinako and the demure fox Hinako, she reconciles them at the shrine. No more toying illusions. She rejects the forced fate, meets Junko, and declares her intent to live passionately. In a twist that hits like a gut punch, she proposes to Kotoyuki on her timeline, forging a future that's hers alone. It's empowering, blending horror with hope. The silence of Ebisugaoka isn't oppressive anymore. It's a canvas for self-definition. This one's worth the replay for that emotional release. Ending 4, the final or true ultimate conclusion. This run weaves everything together. Hinako wields the fully purified sacred sword, shatters the divine illusions, and confronts the village's godly origins head-on. Revelations about her fate, the Fox Mask's true nature, and Ebisugaoka's cursed history flood in, leading to a cathartic purge. She doesn't just escape, she redefines the cycle, breaking free for good. It's the deepest dive into the psychological horror, showing how multiple perspectives complete the puzzle. Unlocking it demands commitment, but the new cinematics and boss fights make it feel like a director's cut. Ending 5. The Great Space Invasion. The UFO gag ending, a series staple since the original. Suddenly, Hinako's childhood sci-fi fantasies with classmate Shu explode into reality. Aliens beam her up, turning the village into a chaotic, intergalactic battlefield. Pyramids float, UFOs abduct monsters. It's absurd, hilarious, and a meta-nod to how escapism can be both salvation and silliness. Don't expect deep lore here. It's pure fan service, tying into the game's woven-in alien myths. But it cleverly contrasts the heavy themes. Sometimes, the mind's wildest distractions are the only way out of the fog. So, there you have it. The 5 endings of Silent Hill F, each a mirror to Hinako's soul and the horrors of expectation. Whether it's tragic acceptance, hard-won freedom, or alien absurdity, they remind us why we love this series. The endings aren't just conclusions, they're questions that haunt long after the credits roll. Which one's your favorite? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more breakdowns.